Well, wintertime's about winding down in Arkansas. It's the third week in February, and the weather's been nice all day. It's supposed to be in the 50s all next week. And we know what that means around here. It means it's taters and onions time, cooked over an open fire. We're making some more progress on this thing. More clamps, more glue. You do a lot of musical clamps when you repair a cabinet. A little bit here, a little bit there. I still have to put in all the fill-in wood, but first we got to get these braces or these decorative parts secure. Once we do that, we can start sticking. I have a whole bunch of veneer I had from an old cabinet that I saved. I can start cutting pieces and sticking it down in, gluing it in place. Haven't had a chance to work on this part right here, but I will. Back here, the veneer is coming loose, so I got that clamped in place. This here has already been clamped and glued, nice and secure now. So it's just a matter of worky on it, is all I can say. Progress is happening. Probably one of my biggest problems is going to be right here along this edge. You can see that the veneer and the wood underneath the veneer is projecting outward from the decorative corner, and that's probably caused from moisture or something. But up in here you'll see that I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a split right here all along there. So I'm going to try to draw that down with a clamp from the other side. You know, some people would just take sandpaper and grind it down. I don't do that. I do not like sand on wood on these old cabinets unless I absolutely have to. And we have a loose foot right here. I may have to take that thing completely off and re-cement the whole thing. I don't know. That'll be another little deal. But other than that, not too shabby so far. One other thing, on this one side of the cabinet, you can see where the wood is showing. Someone took a circular sander already to it, trying to grind it all down. You know, that's exactly the reason I don't like to sand on the veneer on these cabinets, because I don't know what the guy did before me or the guy before him did. And you know, and then you know, I come along and I decide to sand it again. Next thing you know, we're completely through the veneer. This is going to be, now I will have to lightly sand this to try to get some of these swirl marks out of here. They won't show up too bad considering the treatment, the finish I plan to put on it. But I do want to get at least some kind of uniformity. I got to get those swirl marks out from where they sanded it. I don't know if you can make those things out very well or not, but they're there. Yeah, it really bugs me. You know, people have no idea what they're doing. And you know, I'm not the brightest guy in the world when it comes to doing woodwork, but you know, I know not to do this kind of crap. Also, there's low spots and high spots where they push too hard on the grinding wheel, so no matter what I do, this one side of the cabinet is going to be pretty rough. Now, I'm not about to veneer the entire cabinet all over again just because of this one spot. I'll just level it out the best I can without going through the veneer, get the coating, get the lines, the wood grain going as much as possible without swirls in it, and then kind of hope for the best. But this one side is taking quite a beating over the years. But you know, what can I say? It's a 70-year-old radio, and you know, things like that happen. It's a story to be told. The clamps are off, and we now have some good solid wood in there. Now, of course, I still have these big open gaps that need to be filled here and in the rear over here, and of course up in this area here. And I'll be doing that with some. I always keep some leftover wood from old radio cabinets that I've replaced pieces of wood in, and this is some pretty good stuff. This is nice and thick here, nice and solid. And I also have a bunch of little pieces and everything that I've got here. And I've also got more in the house if I need it. But what I'm going to do is cut this into little strips. And I'm going to do that with just a regular old pair of diagonal cutters. You know, I'm going to take my old diagonal cutters and just kind of, I guesstimate about, I'll need about that much right there. And then I'll just go ahead and split it off. And then, let me see if I can do that right here for you. I'm just going to, one-handed is kind of hard, but I'm just going to split it right off of there. There we go. We're getting there. Let me take this. There we go. After I've cut it, see, I can just take me a little strip, and then I'm just going to start sticking it down in there. I'll keep cutting it down until I get the right width, which will probably be down around this area somewhere. I'm going to jam me a bunch of wood down in there, get it as jammed as possible with lots of glue, and that'll fill that hole in there. I'll tell you what, there won't be a truck come by up here on that road back there unless I'm filming. Noisy place. Anyway, there, and of course I'll be sticking it down in here also with lots of glue. So, but that'll be our next step. And also, by the way, up through here I'll be sticking it up into there like that. And it doesn't matter if I block the hole when I glue it in, because I'll be drilling a new hole anyway. It'll take a little while. Now the fill-in wood is all dry now. I can go ahead and take off my clamps. It's beginning to fill in good. That's very strong now, very strong. And I'll have to do a little working with the moto tool. I'm going to grind it down flush here with the grill work, and the same thing over here and here. Grind it down flush, and then I'll find out how much more fill wood I'll have to put in now. Some of it will have to go in from the rear. You can see down in here that it's pretty. I'm going to have to put some in there and clamp it in. This here looks pretty good, but I'll have to put a little bit of a very thin wood I got over there. I've gotten inside the house, put it over there, and then before I drill the hole. So we're getting there still. Well, first part done, fairly flush, but I don't want to take it all the way down. I want to do some with the hand sandpaper. You get carried away with these moto tools, you can really gouge away. This one here is also done already. Looking real nice, looking real nice. I had a few pieces of very thin veneer that were pretty close to the color of the front of this thing, and I decided to go ahead and use them. I cut a couple of pieces out. Let's see how it looks after it's been cemented in. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's about the same, not exactly perfect, but once I strip it off and put some pastewood filler in there, it should look pretty good. And this side also. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a little cutter right here. Get the blade out. I'm going to go ahead and score. Get this blade out. I don't want to cooperate. Alright, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and take the blade and score along there like that, top and bottom, and then just kind of pop those pieces off. And then I'll have to drill a hole for the screw to go through, but I'll be drilling from the rear, but not until I patch up the rear. We still have to work on this anyway, so I'll be doing that next. Alright, it's been scored. Now we just snap it off, top and bottom like that. And over here. Alright, that'll pretty much take care of it. Now all I have to do is kind of grind it down a little bit to where it's the right size. Alright, it's time to take off the corner clamps after all the fill wood's been put in. Looks kind of goofy right now, but it won't after I get the wood ground away. So I think what I'm going to do here, now that's nice and solid now. Boy, I like that. And what I'm going to do is cut and grind all this wood away, drill the hole, trim this up right here, top and bottom, drill holes for the screws, and then I think we'll wrap this video up and finish the fill wood in the next video. So let's grind some of this away and see how it turns out. Alright, the deed is done. A little more trim work here, and I got to glue some stuff in on the back, and I went ahead and set the screws in to make sure that they would fit the holes I drilled. And as you can see, the head covers up almost all of the little patchwork that we had to do here. A little more work. I think once we get it all the little finishing touches on it, and I've got to put a little bit more wood in from the rear. But this one here, this one filled in nicely. This one really filled in good. You can see it right there. Anyway, once we get it all stripped down, I think we'll have a whole different looking cabinet. All right, those old taters and onions are now ready to go in the house. Man, they look really good. First real outdoor potatoes and onions we've cooked in several months.